The athlete, speaker, soldier, and New York Times bestselling author, often referred to as the hardest motherfucker on planet Earth. You're the only member of the U.S. Armed Forces to have completed Navy SEAL training, U.S. Army Ranger School, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller training, and you've competed in more than 60 ultramarathons, triathlons, and ultra triathlons, running 101 miles in 19 hours, 203 miles in 48 hours, and breaking the world record for 4,030 pull-ups in just 17 hours.
You started at 6 a.m. yesterday and reached the finish line here in 30 hours, 18 minutes, and 54 seconds.
He knocked my mom out the top of the stairs. I could see him coming down the stairs, just dragging her. That's when I jumped on my father and he beat the shit out of me. We never went to school hardly at all because we were bruised up.
He died about 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I'm not for sure. I didn't go to the funeral, but I forgave him. So I saw my dad through an 8-year-old's eyes. So we left when I was 8. And then at 22, I went back to see him through a grown man's eyes. And he was the same person I remembered. That's where I came from. I had to figure out the origin of where I started from. So when I was going back through my life trying to fix who I am, the fucked up person I was, and it was him.
I'd like to take my mom up here, who never picked me up when I fell. She taught me how to get up when I was knocked down. Everybody thinks I'm Superman, so I had to tell them the truth. I was not always this strong guy you see. All I wanted to be was an uncommon man. In my whole life, I was not that. Much worse than that. So I came home one day from working at a job called Ecolab where I sprayed for cockroaches. Made $1,000 a month, weighing 300 pounds. And I got home and I watched a show on Discovery Channel of guys carrying boats and logs, Navy SEAL training. And I decided to make a change in my life. And I called the recruiter up and he asked me these questions. He had to meet a certain height and weight limit. I was 6'1" and 300 pounds. He laughed at me. 7 other recruiters laughed at me. One recruiter finally said, "Come on in, I'm too busy to talk to you on the phone." He didn't know how much I weighed. He said I basically had to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months because of my age. I was getting too old. I came back 3 months later, 106 pounds lighter. Thank you. I had stuff on my notebook, you know, we're gonna kill you, on my Spanish notebook. Even though I showed it didn't hurt me, it was jacking me up. So all the insecurities I had when I was a kid with my father, I moved into this area here and it just got worse and worse and worse. And the shit haunted me. And that voice, it kept talking louder and louder and louder, but I was doing nothing about it. And I decided to make moves. That's when the real war started for me. My mom, she was gone working 3 jobs. We lived in a $7 a month place for a lot of the time. So whenever I wanted to tell her something, it seemed like bad shit was always happening. But at a young age, I felt like I was the man of the house. So I didn't want her to know anything about my life. I cheated all through school, copied from the 4th grade to my junior year in high school on every assignment. I could barely read and write. I wasn't going anywhere. I was a character. I was trying to find myself through a character. I was making different hairstyles and sagging my pants, and I was off. I was off, man. I was a clown. The worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, because it took a lot for me to learn also, I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I stopped caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Wow, if I say this, if I started right now, are you gonna make fun of me? I stopped caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely. I saw working out as a way for me to build calluses on my mind.
Can I ask you the question of, when you're running, you run for hours.
Days.
What days?